Hello, I'm Jhello and I will be teaching you how to create tap to move style movement with directional based sprites in Xogot. You can use any form of input for this video, and all project files will be in the description. Open up your world scene and create a new character body 2D node, name it player and hold down on it and click save branch as scene. Now save it to any folder you want. I will be choosing my player folder. Now open up your player scene and add a sprite 2D. Drag your player art into the texture property. As you see, we have 4 sprites based on each look direction. So to make it one sprite with 4 frames, enter the animation properties. Since we have 2 frames horizontally and 2 frames vertically, we shall set our H frames and V frames to 2 respectively. Now that we've done that, create a collision shape 2D with a rectangular shape and resize it to your player. Now select your player and create a new script, remove the template, and then we can get started. Create 2 export variables, one called speed, which we will set to 100, and acceleration, which we will be setting to 8. You can find these exported variables when selecting your player node. Now back in our script, we will be creating 2 new variables, var new position, which we'll be setting to vector2.0. This will be the new position our player will be moving to every time it changes, and var direction, which we will also be setting to vector2.0, which we will be using our new position to calculate. Now create your ready function, which runs when our player is loaded, and we will be setting our new position to our global position once the game starts, because we don't want our player going anywhere until we tap. Now create your physics process function, which runs every frame of our game. We will be setting our direction to be parentheses new position minus global position dot normalized. But why? This is to get the distance of the new position in the X and Y direction and using normalized to shorten that into a direction vector that we can actually use. Now, to get moving, we are going to use if global position dot distance to new position is more than 3. Then changing our velocity with linear interpolation using lerp, velocity, direction times speed, acceleration times delta. We use delta to make sure our movement is consistent with time and not just frame rate. And since we are not at our new position, we will be using move and slide to actually get moving. If we are less than 3 pixels away from our new position, then we will set our velocity to be vector2.0. Now to actually get our touch input, we will be using the unhandled input function. Now within that function, add if event is input event mouse button, which will be detecting our clicks or touches on the screen. Then we will be setting our new position equal to event.globalPosition. And now we have touch to move, but it does look a bit weird with our character not looking in the correct direction. Let's fix that. To begin, create a new function called decideLookDirection. Inside, we are creating a new variable called angle, which will get the angle to our new position using getAngle2 new position. However, that will return the angle in radians, but I believe that degrees are easier to work with, so we are going to use the function rad to degrees on this entire calculation. Take a look at this sprite, and we will be numbering each frame to keep in mind. Down is 0, right is 1, left is 2, and up is 3. And we will be using this diagram to decide our direction. So if our angle is more than 45 degrees but less than 135 degrees, then we are facing down and returning 0 as our sprite's frame. Else if our angle is more than negative 45 degrees but less than 45 degrees, then we are facing right and returning 1 as our sprite frame. Else if our angle is greater than 135 degrees or less than negative 135 degrees, then we are facing left and returning 2. If all else fails, then we are facing up and returning 3. Now at the top of our script, just create a new variable referencing our sprite node with var sprite equals $sprite2d. And in our input function, set sprite.frame equal to our function decide look direction. Before we continue, go back to your world scene and drag the player to the middle of your area. Press play, and now we have touch to move on the iPad. Thank you for watching. If you want to show off your project, consider joining the Xogot Discord to show off what you have made. Link is in the description.